This is the board of a Sinclair ZX Spectrum that I found in a box of bits. Now I thought it'd be quite fun just to see if I can get this thing working. It's clearly seen better days, but before I can really test it I need to do what they call a composite mod, just so I can get the thing to display on a normal television that has a composite input rather than the RF input, which a lot of modern TVs don't work too well with these days. In fact, some of them don't even have them at all for the analog input. So in this short video I'm going to just walk through modifying the modulator to do the composite mod so that we can display it on a TV, and then we'll see whether the computer's actually working or not, and I suspect it won't be. But hopefully this video will show you how to modify an old Sinclair 48K Spectrum so that it'll work on a modern television. What I'm going to do now is the composite mod, so I thought this would be quite good just to go through. So I don't know if I can get this viewed on the camera well enough, but there are two wires coming in to the modulator. This first one here, have I got anything to point with? I'm going to try it. This first one here is power, and we need to cut that off so that we're not powering this circuit. I mean, it wouldn't really matter if we were, but it might help for reducing noise and such. This one here is the composite signal, and the simplest way of doing a composite mod on a Spectrum is to take this wire here, or cut it and put another one on, and solder it straight onto this bit here, so you're cutting out this and cutting out the circuit. That's the simplest way. I've read that to get more compatibility with modern televisions, it's best to put a capacitor in between these two to smooth it out a little bit. Another alternative I've read about is where if you want to get a brighter picture, if the picture's too dark, you can you can use this power to power a transistor to boost the signal between there. I'm going to go with the capacitor version. That's what we're going to do now. So if you want to make this reversible, then you should desolder this and just coil this up somehow so you could put it back eventually. Same with this. I'm probably going to just snip this off. I'll desolder this one and take this out, and I'll try and somehow shoehorn the capacitor here and get one of the legs into there. It's going to be a bit tight, but I'm hoping then when I've finished I'll be able to pop this lid back on and you won't really be able to see the difference. The easiest way really would be to just put the wire over the top and just not bother with the lid. Which, if this doesn't work out too well, maybe what I end up doing. But we'll see how we go. Don't know where that went. Okay, that's that one. So that's the little one there. Right, so we've removed the power, and now we've got a clear hole there to solder in the capacitor. So I'll probably I'll just get it in situ. Oh, I've got to, actually, nearly forgot. The next thing I've got to do is desolder this resistor here. So obviously this circuit, the signal comes in, goes through this modulator circuit and then up through this resistor and onto that, the end of that phono plug. So I'll just there we are. So the resistor, see if I can just show you that. The resistor there was soldered, it was just onto the leg, so the hole's still free for me to pop my capacitor in and the resistors there. I'm just going to bend that into the circuit out of the way, because if I ever want to put this back, then that's handy to keep there, so I'm not going to snip that off. What I'm going to do is see if I can just get a bit more of this solder off. Just the loose solder that's on here. Right, okay. Now, this is the capacitor I'm using. A better capacitor to use really would be one with a lead coming out of each end, because ideally what you want to do is stand it in there, have the other one come out and go across. I don't have any of those, and I didn't want to order some and wait for them. I'm just going to get on with this, so I'm going to see what I can do with this one. It'll probably just have to float around a little bit, but I'll just see. Or I could put it, I suppose I could put it in upside down with one leg bent down into there and the other one across. Let's just see. So the other thing to note of this is it's important, these can't go in either way. There's a positive and a negative, and you can see on most of them they've got the negative is the shorter lead, and there's also a marking on the body to indicate it. I don't know if I'm in the camera there. Yeah, there we go. So you've got a shorter lead usually, not always, but you usually have a marking on the body which shows which way is negative. And what we need to do here is the negative lead needs to go onto the phono, and the positive lead needs to go down into, be soldered into here. So it's a little unfortunate that the shortest lead is the one I needed to be the longest lead, but hey, let's just see. So if I put that there, I reckon I can bend that up. Actually, have we got it now? Yeah, there we go. So that would be done there, and then the other one I'm just going to push down into there. Probably need the. Now I don't know how to solder that one in first. I think I will. Then it's in. So that's nicely done. I'll just do that by hand. Actually, just bend that down a bit more so it doesn't touch the lid. So that's one half on. That's quite secure. I think that's okay. Should hopefully fit inside the Spectrum case nicely still. So there won't be a lot of room in there. So the next thing I need to do is get that pin into the hole there. That one. And then just bend that through. There we go. So I think like that, then I'll just solder that in. That's it, just get rid of that. And there we have it. So that now should be all composite modded. So we should now be able to just plug that straight into the yellow composite on the TV, and that should hopefully have a picture, assuming this works. So I'll take this back into the house now. I think that's all the soldering for now. Power on, composite mod, freshened up these, put the chip in, see what happens. I'll just give this a little clean up first. Right, so everything's back in place, got the chips in, put a power socket on there, let's see what we get. And it's clearly not a working Spectrum, but the display is nice and clear coming in through Composite, so that part has been a success. And I'll probably do another video as I work through fixing the Spectrum and getting it fully working. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye for now.